Welcome back to the Stick 'em Up podcast. Burundi, I have something right off the top that I want to get your thoughts on because this is one of those perfect things that I have no idea what you are going to think about this, even though we've probably talked about it in the past. Um, this is one of those things where I could see you being like, yes, they should fix it, or you might just not care at all, like who cares? But recently, Gary Bettman has mentioned that Mark Chipman has been inquiring with the league about consolidating the Jets 1.0 and 2.0 records for the NHL record books. The league is looking at it, but wants to be sure the outcome is something that works for everybody. But it does sound from these insiders like it is a very real conversation and a legit possibility. What are your thoughts on them trying to do that? For those who don't know, that would be the Winnipeg Jets of the 80s and 90s. That team ended up becoming the Arizona Coyotes, I believe.
Yeah.
And then the team that was the Atlanta Thrashers, later on, a new expansion team, moved up to Winnipeg. So now the city of Winnipeg, even though both teams were called the Jets, kind of have two different lineages. And, Teemu Selanne scored the most in a Jets jersey, but who do we recognize as the all-time scoring leader for this current Jets? I believe it's Blake Wheeler now.
I think Mark Scheifele might have passed him.
He might have at this point. If not,
I
he's got to be close.
Wrong, but so basically, it's all just becomes one. Then
that's what they're looking at doing. Yeah.
To me, it doesn't really matter. I guess.
Right.
I don't think it really affects me one way or the other. And I guess it's kind of a way that you can keep the former stats alive because obviously all those are now completely, gone and buried because when the Coyotes went to Utah, everything didn't transfer with. It just started over brand new. So to bring some of those stuff back, I mean, yeah, I'm sure, why not?
Yeah, it's kind of weird for both sides. Like, I really do hope they do this. Like, it's not, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that important, but for some of those fan bases, it kind of is because, people who grew up in the 80s and 90s, they're like, Teemu Selanne was like, their hero and Dale Hawerchuk, guys like that. And they're not on their record books, and it feels kind of weird. And on the other side, there's these Coyotes fans that are like, it feels weird to say that Teemu Selanne has the most goals in a season for a Coyote because he scored, 76 in a season when he was actually playing in Winnipeg. So it feels weird on both sides. Yeah, it really feels like if it's one city's, like, especially a place like Winnipeg, it feels like both should belong to them. Maybe if it was a bigger area, like Toronto or hell, I guess New York's a great example because they literally have two teams. Then it gets messier. But for something like this, I'm glad that they're finally taking a look at it, and we'll see if it happens, and we'll see if maybe a couple other teams. I don't know specific teams that would have to separate or rework the books around that, but I know that's one of the big ones. So good on them for listening when called upon.
Yeah. To me, again, like I said, doesn't matter one way or the other. But you know what? I'm fine with it. If it happens, then sweet. It's adds to Winnipeg, and you kind of hear more about those guys that you never hear much about them when talking about stats with Winnipeg because it's kind of been excluded from everything with this current Jets team. So yeah, works for me.
All right. And just to clarify, you are correct. Mark Scheifele is the current leader for the Winnipeg Jets now. Blake Wheeler's in second with 795. Mark Scheifele 842. So he must have passed him, I assume, later last season. I can't imagine he's up to however many points that would be. 47.
Yeah, I was just I can't. So yeah, then would have been last season. I was going to say I do remember hearing something about Scheifele passing him. So
yeah,
but for everyone, welcome back to Stick 'em Up. outside of that.
Yes, sir.
Where do you want to start? We got a couple kind of small bits of news from around the league, and then we've got some Olympic talk and a surprise I have for you. So where do you want to begin here with all this?
Um, I guess let's start with the Gavin McKenna news. I feel like that's a pretty big story right now. For those who didn't hear, Gavin McKenna, or I guess for a little more backstory, an insider from the Athletic by the name of Corey Pronman does a lot of high-profile draft prospect rankings. One of the more trusted, and I know you especially really uh, like the stuff he puts out within the community. And he did a mid-season NHL draft prospect ranking, and he had Gavin McKenna falling down all the way to 4th.
Yeah, so I will say I like Corey Prom a lot because he's not afraid to go outside the box a bit. You know, a lot of guys want to just they put out their rankings and they want to hold true to them, and they say at the beginning of the year, I believe this guy was number one, and they never want to sway away from that. Whereas Corey
Right.
Prom, he's always open to shaking things up a bit. And yeah, his top
Believe
four.
in the evidence of his eyes and ears.
Number one, he had Tynan Lawrence. 2, Keaton Verhoff. 3, Ivar Stenberg. And then 4, he had Gavin McKenna there. It's kind of interesting to have Tynan Lawrence of all of them at number 1. I think he's still a great prospect, but I think for me, still comfortably kind of the number 4 out of the 3.
I was going to say, because he is this upcoming year, right? For some reason,
yeah.
I thought he was the draft after.
Nope, these are all guys in this upcoming one.
Yeah, that's crazy. What do you like if this trend continues? Because we're seeing Gavin McKenna's draft stock fall a little bit right now. These other guys are also having incredible seasons, which helps. What do you think the odds are that somebody doesn't take Gavin McKenna at number 1?
Still 0%. I think he's going to go number 1 when it comes around to the draft.
Regardless of the team that gets it?
I think so. I was kind of up in the air of maybe certain teams at 1, but then I could also maybe see them just trading back even.
I was going to say,
I think he'll go.
You'd sooner trade McKenna for a haul, including an elite defenseman, than drafting that position.
Or you just,
if nothing else, for the perceived value
back to 2 or 3. You move back if you're comfortable with either one of the players. I think the biggest thing is again, everybody was saying he's a generational player, and what he did in the WHL last year and all the way to Memorial Cup was incredible. Didn't have the greatest World Juniors, but at the same time wasn't given a whole lot of opportunity. But I mean, the thing is he's not out producing guys like Adam Fantilli and Celebrini did at the college level,
right?
And that's a big thing. Is so neither one of those two were a generational prospect, and so people are kind of they're not really necessarily low on McKenna's game, but they're just saying maybe we hyped him up a little bit too much,
a little bit,
because again,
early,
it's a big thing going up against a lot of really young guys in the WHL, a couple older guys, but then going up against like older, higher level players.
It's higher level
at the college level. So I think that's kind of the biggest thing. Is it's not really his game's bad. It's just not. I think everybody's just maybe a little bit too high on him.
What they thought, right,
is the biggest thing, and I don't think he's the clear number 1 prospect going into the draft. I think you can make the cases for a couple other guys, but he'll still end up going 1. I think.
Yeah, even if it's a team like a San Jose that has all the offensive weapons and needs a D-man, like it still feels like they would at most
they're kind of the
trade
one
down
team
to 2
that might not take him. But I don't want to say for sure. But I could see a world where,
yeah. It just,
but again, then you basically if you're San Jose and you do get the first overall pick and you're going to take Gavin McKenna, you kind of have to look down your prospect list and start to dump some of them off, because then you're blocked off from making it into that top 6 ever, right? So And again, that's never a bad problem to have. Like, you have so many
too many
forwards
elite
and
players. Oh
prospects.
no,
Like, that's not
right? Yeah,
a bad thing to have. Yeah, I still think Gavin McKenna goes one,
yeah.
but
I think teams would be too
I don't
scared
think
of
he's
passing on a
the
guy
clear
like
cut.
him. Like,
But that being said, I don't think he's like the clear number one. Like, he's better than.
Right.
I'm still kind of not fully sold on Tynan Lawrence because again, he plays in the USHL, so that's even a step lower. No disrespect to that league, but it's just facts.
Right.
But like, you can make the argument that Verhoff or Stenberg are better, and I think it'll be very interesting to watch all of them kind of together during the World Juniors. Actually, I don't know if. Yeah, I think Verhoff's going. I think so.
Verhoff,
I'd be shocked if
he
he's
from?
not. He's Canadian? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'd be shocked. I'm pretty sure he's going though.
I don't remember seeing him on the list, but honestly, I don't think I looked very closely at the defense either.
Let me take a look here. No, he's listed on the team, or at least for the tryouts. So
good. No reason to overthink it. But we can move on from that. We'll keep on watching those prospect boards and see, like, how big is the drop off from Tynan Lawrence to the next guy? Do you think there's a world where guys have him falling even further on their draft board? Like, there's no way he ends up getting drafted anywhere below 4th, probably not even outside of 1st, but
yeah, I think that top 4 is probably what ends up being the top 4.
It's a good drop off to the next tier of guys.
I think so, and especially when you consider that Anaheim's not going to be picking in that bottom 3 because we know Anaheim love to kind of go off the board from what the consensus pick would be because they're trying to build their team a certain way, and they're not going to be in there. So when you look at the teams that are probably going to be in there, they're going to go just best player available,
right?
And regardless of whatever that is, let me double check. I think it also could help. Lawrence's case. I believe he is a center.
I believe so.
And center is not a very... Okay, they haven't listed as center. There's not a lot of centers high up in this draft either.
No, it's kind of
like
weird.
He's kind of projected to be like the only natural center in the top 10.
Like, I don't remember the last time that was the case. Like, if anything, usually it's majority centerman and defense. Like,
a lot of
really good to be a winger up there.
Wingers. So yeah. So, and again, I don't think there's going to be a team that when you look at San Jose or any of the teams that are going to be at the bottom, Nashville, Calgary, maybe Vancouver. Yeah, it's just going to be best player available. So whoever's the best player that's sitting there that they're going to take. And
right
now, the top 4 kind of looks like it's going to be those 4. It's just kind of in what order. Again, lots can change, in the World Juniors definitely will have a big impact on that.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the World Juniors, as both of us are every year, and it's going to be really fun, especially watching. I feel like we have a couple more guys. Maybe I just haven't paid attention to it recently, but it feels like we're going to have more guys who have a little NHL experience in the World Juniors this year than we normally do. Like, even if that's only
probably at least 3 for Team Canada, potentially could be more.
Yeah,
don't know on that for sure, but looks like you're gonna have at least 3, and that's usually they don't get that. Usually get maybe 1.
Another young prospect that we're expecting to make his NHL debut tonight is goaltender Jacob Fowler for the Montreal Canadiens. I kind of thought that he had played a little bit in the NHL. Like, I thought he had gotten like a couple games in it, a little bit at the start of the season or the end of last season or something. But yeah, their goaltending lately has been pretty rough and
been very bad. We kind of cursed Dobes by saying he could be this year's Dustin Wolf. It's kind of gone bad ever since, and people were saying Montembeau's got to be in consideration for Team Canada again, and that's gone pretty south. And Montreal
Sure his
fans have
numbers
really
are worse
soured
than Stuart Skinner.
on both of them, and that kind of makes me a little bit worried for Jacob Fowler. I think at least it's in Pittsburgh tonight, which is good, probably, because it's not like Montreal fans are bad. They're just passionate. They're probably the most passionate fan base in the league, and again, it'd be cool for Fowler, but honestly, with the way things have kind of been going for the team, especially goalies, probably best just have him plays first game on the road. And
I almost think it was on purpose a little bit that they had it on the road.
And I would agree with you. I think it's fair. It's a calculated move by Montreal, and I think it is the right move. I know
getting
a lot
booed
of Montreal
by the opposing fans is so much better than getting booed by your fans.
And I doubt Canadiens fans would boo Fowler in his NHL debut.
Definitely not in his debut.
But I will also say, if there was any fan base to do it, it would be Montreal. And again, it's not because they're bad. They're just a very passionate fan base, and Montreal now this year is expecting to win. They're expecting to be a good team. So you can't blame the fans. So you can't blame the fans when they're frustrated, and the goaltending hasn't been good, but also I think the team as a whole needs to be better in front of their goalies too. I don't think it's solely on the goalies for Montreal.
Yeah, it's definitely
part of the problem, but
both. It's kind of a similar situation to Edmonton, how it's like the goaltending isn't great, but like the defense in front of them is not making it super easy either. So we'll see how he does. Man, he's had stellar numbers at every level of his career. Like, just unreal. 2 years in Boston College, a 926 in 39 games. The next season in 35 games, a 940. After that, he goes to the AHL. Only 3 games last season in the AHL, 914. This year, the AHL 15 games, a 919. Like, obviously, the NHL is a different beast entirely, but he's only 21 years old. He's putting up fantastic numbers. Maybe he's not quite ready for the NHL yet, but this guy looks like he's going to be gangbusters once he shows up.
Start. Yeah, if the game can translate properly to the NHL, absolutely. And Montreal fans have been very high on him, but also just a lot of people outside of Montreal have been very high on Fowler, and waiting for him to get his moment with Montreal. And this is the perfect opportunity to go out there, and he can steal the starting job right away. Because again, I don't think Montreal's got a clear long or at least vision for this season of what their goaltending is. It's whoever's the best is who they're going to go with, and if that's Fowler, they gotta make moves elsewhere then with one of their other 2 goalies.
Yeah, like Fowler and Dobesh both look to be great goaltenders at some point in this league, probably as a starter. Montembeau definitely has that potential as well. Like, I think they're fine to run with any of them. It's just who can grab that brass ring and go for it. So it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, at only 21 years of age, this guy definitely looks like he's he looks a little more, some of his older numbers look a little more similar to Dustin Wolf than I think Dobesh's did. But at the same time, Dustin
in a
Wolf
small sample size.
Yeah, Dustin Wolf also had a lot more sample size, and quite a lot. Wolf had a lot of individual hardware as well. He had There's phenomenal numbers here from Fowler, but he didn't win. Doesn't look like he's won any of the like goalie of the year awards or something in those leagues, which feels kind of crazy considering that 940 year in Boston College. But we'll see how he does against Pittsburgh, who I believe, how have they been lately? Have they started falling off? Because I mean, obviously, we've been expecting them to from that incredibly hot start.
I think they're still up there, aren't they? Let me double check.
I think they're still holding on. They're 5-2 and 3 in their last 10.
Still in the first wild card spot, so yeah, they're hanging in there.
This is a pretty solid test for them. Obviously, also having your debut against Crosby is super cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And a big thing for Montreal too is got to start winning games, but also got to start winning games in regulation. They have 15 wins on the year, but they only have 8 regulation wins.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Kinda
winning in
skirting by
general
a
is
little bit.
nice, but if the league stays as close and competitive as it is right now towards the end of the year, if you're fighting for a final playoff spot, you're going to lose the tiebreaker because regulation wins is the first tiebreaker, and so they need to start racking some of those up.
Yeah. What else do we got here? I had a separate segment here that I wanted to talk about. I believe they've done it, I think 3 or 4 times in the last month. And I assume you've seen a couple pictures and clips of it. But the NHL is toying with doing some color on color games where both teams wear, whether it's an alternate or both teams wear their home jerseys. And God, does it look sexy on the ice, man. Like, I don't even remember who it was against.
Yeah.
They did it again with the Rangers the other night. They had their all blue jerseys. Was it the Red Wings? Maybe the Blackhawks? Yeah. And they had their red jerseys on instead of the like white ones, obviously, which would normally be their away jerseys. And obviously you can't do this if it's Tampa versus the Leafs, right? That's confusing.
Yeah. There's certain matchups that it just doesn't work.
But if it's red versus blue team, or you got the Flyers orange versus the Stars green or something, like that's just going to look sick out there. Nobody needs to wear their white jerseys that night. So I want
to see San Jose because they're like all teal now against Anaheim and they're all orange. Like that's one that would be, I think, a pretty fun one too. There's lots of good ones you can honestly do, but yeah, the downside is that there's certain matchups that you just can't do. Just doesn't work unless one team maybe has like a black alternate jersey that they go with, and
right
then you could get away with something like that. But
yeah, I'm definitely hoping that they do this more often because obviously the league knows about this. There's no way that these teams just decided to wear different jerseys. Like it clearly came from higher up. Like, hey, you can do this, and I would love to see maybe next offseason they're like, okay, here's some of the list of teams and the jerseys they can't use together. These two teams face each other, can't, just color combinations doesn't work. Everything else works for us. And then it's just up to teams' discretion. Hey, tonight we feel like rocking our home jerseys instead of our away jerseys because it'll look sick. Like it just one of those things that makes the game look nicer.
Yeah, I'm all for it, absolutely. The one thing I will say, and I know a lot of people like the idea of it. They want to see kind of go back to the old way where the home team wears the white and the away team wears the color. I don't want it to go down that road. And I understand it. They're like, well, when you see your team on the road, you want to see them wear. To be fair, when I'm watching my team on the road, I couldn't care less what they wear, like what jersey.
If you're watching them on the road, you're hyped that they're here.
Yeah, I couldn't care less. And also, I think it would look kind of fucking weird if maybe Winnipeg.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Every whiteout, but like
every arena would look like the whiteout.
Well, no, because I still think fans would buy the colored jersey just because that's kind of the more iconic one to their team. But like Montreal in the playoffs, everyone's going to be wearing red, so the whole crowd is going to be all red, and then they're going to come out wearing the white. It's just like.
That's almost weirder than everybody in the crowd wearing white. Is the whole team wearing white and then everyone else in the arena is not?
Yeah.
It just makes sense.
Like I understand
the color jerseys look cooler, so you give it to them at home. Yeah.
Exactly. I understand it, but I still think it's ridiculous. Talked a bit about Jacob Fowler, and we talked about Jacob Dobes, who we kind of cursed. Unfortunately, that's our bad. We won't do it again. But there's another goalie this year, a semi-young goalie by the name of Brandon Bussey of the Carolina Hurricanes. Off to a very. See if I can pull it up here. All right, it's not going to be on that
It's
one.
been off to a
A
real
very
strong start.
impressive start with the Carolina Hurricanes. Starting the season, he is 9-1 with a 2.09 goals against and a 909 save percentage. Currently, actually not currently, the other day, listed on FanDuel for the Calder Trophy at plus 10,000. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean,
it's a scam is what it is.
I
It's a
mean, I guess it
scam.
makes sense. Is he not eligible to be? Is
He's
he
not
eligible
even
for the Calder?
eligible for the Calder. FanDuel had him where you could bet on him to win the Calder at plus 10,000, and he's not eligible.
Well, that's why the odds are so
good. He turned 27 during the summer, and you have to be 26 or younger by September 15th going into the season. So maybe FanDuel didn't know that. I hope they refunded anybody that put some cheddar on Bussy. But yeah, if you see him
I
there,
wonder if
they're
just going to wait. I wonder if that's the kind of bet that pays out when the Calder's announced in the summer, and then I wonder if they refund the people then, or surely they.
I think
have
it's probably they have to, yeah, and I imagine it'll probably be like an immediate because they've already removed him from there, so
they're clearly aware. Yeah.
They know they messed up, and I just wanted to kind of throw that in there because I thought it was funny because I saw some people being like, "This is like not bad odds," and then people are like, "Yeah, but he ain't gonna win it because he can't.
He can't.
He's not eligible for it." But it's also highlighting that Brandon Bussy has definitely gotten off to a great start with Carolina this season.
I remember looking him up just because he has a objectively hilarious last name, and I remember looking him up 1 or 2 seasons ago when I heard his name referenced on a Bruins broadcast, and I was looking at his numbers. Like, this guy looks like, it's funny and all, but he actually has some really solid numbers down in the minors and stuff. So I was kind of shocked when the Bruins just let him go. Like, I mean, obviously they've got Swayman for the future and stuff, but Korpisalo is expensive,
but you can't just bury Korpisalo down the minors.
No, but I mean,
then that's a difficult contract to move. They shouldn't have taken it ever to begin with, but
having more good goalies is never too much.
No,
issue.
But
it doesn't feel like they're cap pressed or anything.
You can only strangle someone in the minors for so long before they say, I gotta try to get in the NHL somewhere.
Yeah, I guess.
I think it was more on the player probably of, I've loved my time here, but let me go somewhere where I can attempt to crack an NHL lineup.
Yeah.
Because this wasn't going to happen in Boston. And I mean, if you're a goalie, what better place to go than Carolina? Great defensive team, and their 2 goalies in their tandem can't stay healthy. So it's a perfect place for a goalie to go who wants to get a crack.
Yeah, absolutely.
But just highlighting that, we can move on to some Olympic talk, kind of the heavy portion here of the episode. Want to kick it off for us?
Yes, sir. The Milan Olympic Arena, the arena that they're going to be playing the hockey games in for the Olympics, is scheduled to be completed 3 days before the first game. That's not a lot of time.
No, it is not.
Do you know, is that supposed to be the arena construction, or is that when the arena's done and the ice is?
I imagine that's when everything is done and it's ready.
That's kind of what I thought. But ice is finicky. These guys, they, the NHL and stuff, they make it months in advance, or at the minimum weeks before, so that they can really keep resurfacing it. Knock out any nicks, bumps, and make it perfect. And I just have a hard time believing that they're going to have enough time and the right personnel in place over there to have good quality ice when it starts.
I think it'll be okay. Because it's not like 3 days before the first game is when they're going to have the ice, right? There's, again, because I've been very critical on this whole thing, so I'm going to try being positive about it. There is a chance that they could get to a point whereby January 1st, they can start doing the ice and have that going and kind of maintaining it and getting it up to standards. And from like January 1st to, the day that it's ready, they're kind of doing all the other stuff, like making sure the concessions are all taken care of, bathrooms,
Right.
locker rooms, kind of all these other minor things.
The
Well,
extra
not really
things
minor
that
things,
won't
but
be
the extra
affecting the
things that
actual
are,
games.
yeah. So it could be something like that. Or yeah, it could be something like 3 days before, the arena's actually done on the date that they've set. Then they're going to kind of start, getting the ice going. So kind of tough to tell because they don't really give much info on it. They kind of just said 3 days before it'll be ready. But we don't know exactly what that fully means of, is it going to be like they're getting the ice and the ice will be done by then, or is the ice going to be done a month prior, but it's just going to be like everything else within the arena will be done? It's just hard to tell, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm hoping, I do think they'll have it done. Like I'm hoping it's not we get to game 1 or 2 and we're like, when there's those NHL games where, and it seems to happen everywhere, not just in some of the like lower end arenas, but like where it's like just pucks are bouncing, guys are having trouble stick handling. Maybe there's one corner where guys seem to fall more often, and the announcers just keep saying like, "Man, it just the puck's really on end tonight. It's bouncing a lot." Like it's
Mm-hmm.
I'm just hoping we don't get that because like it
Yeah.
would suck to see all these incredible players going at it and the puck just keeps like bouncing over sticks and doing weird
Yeah.
stuff. And yeah, that's basically my biggest concern at this point. I think they're going to get it all done. It's just, is the ice going to be great or
Yeah,
plated?
like high quality or shit.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. And I'm gonna try, at least for this episode, to be on the be optimistic about it,
I think
and
it's a big enough story that they're
think that
starting
it'll
to,
all work.
yeah,
It'll
they're
be
trying
it'll
to
be
pick it
good.
up.
The NHL did say though that for the 2030 Olympics, they're gonna make sure that it's NHL sized ice. So good on them for being very proactive for something 4 years in advance and not really giving a shit about it not
Yeah.
happening this year. So
Yeah, well, if the double
really
IHF is
wonderful.
okay with it being NHL size, then it should
No,
NHL
I'm more
size.
so poking fun at that. It's smaller than NHL size ice for the
No, yeah,
2030
yeah.
one.
I'm surprised that the double IHF isn't like, screw you. We're next time when we have time to build the arena, we're definitely using our, like, the double IHF loves throwing their weight around as that,
Yeah,
however
but
that counts.
they know it's pretty easy for the NHL to just say, "All right, well, if you're not gonna meet our demands, yoink, here goes all the NHL players that are gonna come."
I guess, but like, would they? Are they psychotic enough over the size of the rink to be like,
Probably.
all our players will hate us, but we're gonna do it? Like, I don't even know what that really benefits the league when playing on smaller ice, but it wouldn't be the first time we've seen an old boys club dig their heels in
Mhm.
over basically nothing. So
Exactly. That's exactly it. Um, but yeah, that's where we're at with the Milan Olympic Arena. We're gonna talk a little bit about Team Canada here, I think. Is
we got a little bit
that
of
what
Team
we're, is
Canada
that
that
what
we're
we're
going to
doing?
talk about.
Do you want to let the lovely people know what we're gonna be doing here?
So I think for this one, because we are going to do some YouTube exclusive videos at some point, going over our full predictions, and I don't know if we're going to do predictions on what we think the rosters will be, or if we are going to do a video on what we want the rosters to be. But I think for this one, we're going to be doing a couple of comparisons of just individual players in different spots and basically highlighting some players that we think are really strong candidates and basically at this point maybe should make the team.
Yeah,
Um, so I
sounds good to
can
me.
start us off here, and maybe I should bring up a projected lineup. But
Oh, I can
I
also. I'll just throw it out there before we start. Sidney Crosby, Nathan McKinnon, Connor McDavid, Braden Point, Sam Reinhart, and Cale Makar are all locks. There's no debating. I mean,
yeah,
we know they're all going to be on the team regardless, but they
they are
are they're locked.
they
They're
are
already nailed
officially
for the team.
locks. They've been
Yeah,
advertised to be there since September, I think it is. Like
something like that. Yeah,
yeah, like they're literally pencil, put in pen when everyone else is in pencil.
Yeah.
But for this, I can't find it here. Basically, my biggest thing, and one of the main reasons I wanted to bring this up, is I think we're at the point where we have seen enough of Matthew Schaefer that he should be on this team. And I'm not talking about as an extra defenseman. I'm saying he should be on this team.
I would agree.
Like, honestly, what's the projected defensive core of Team Canada?
So I think the way that it's probably going to go is they're going to run they're going to go with 14 forwards and then 8 defensemen.
Right.
I think it is probably the way that they go. So where can I move this here to? If you're looking at defensemen, right, you're probably looking at, well, we know Makar is going.
Probably Devon Taves
is going to go because they're going to take him to play with Makar. Josh Morrissey is going to go.
Yep.
Thomas Harley is probably going to go.
Do you think it's safe to say those first 3 are probably locks? I feel like everyone else is kind of interchangeable. Yeah. I feel like every list I've seen has Makar, Taves, and Morrissey. Yeah. A lot of people have Harley, but I have seen, I know TSN had him off the team for a bit, and now I think they have him as a bench.
In their most recent one, I don't think they have Harley on there.
Yeah. So
yeah, I kind of think Makar, Taves, and Morrissey is your 3 kind of locks, and then you've got guys like Thomas Harley, Shea Theodore, Matthew Schaefer, and then Colton Parayko, Drew Doughty, Jacob Chikrin, because a lot of people think he's American, but I
can't believe he's not been
for
talked
Team
about
Canada.
And Travis Sanheim.
I think that's kind of who you're looking at there to fill out the D course. So I think you've kind of got 3 locks, and then you've got about 9 to 10 guys that you're debating between for the other 5 spots.
Yeah. I'm just going to ask it straight up. Other than those top 3 guys, Makar, Taves, Morrissey, the way he's playing right now, I have Schaefer as the 4th best defenseman. And frankly, I like, actually Taves plays well with Makar, and that's why he's coming. I think Schaefer's better than him. I think Schaefer's the 3rd best Canadian defenseman in the world right now.
I think 4th because I still think Thomas Harley is there. I think
that's
it's
one that
really,
I could see definitely above him. He's had a bit of a slower year despite the injury.
Hurt. Yeah, I think the injury has hurt his stock. I do believe though that I think Thomas Harley's probably still kind of in that 3 spot. And again, like Schaefer's right in there, like he's not far behind. Yeah. I think Schaefer should make the team. I don't know if he will, but like if I was picking, I would definitely pick him to be on the team. I just think he's good enough.
Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on it, and man, especially defensemen as young as he is, like, sure, he was good at the first bit, but like, how many times have we seen a guy be gangbusters the first month and then he falls off? And like last year, it looked like Matvei Michkov had the Calder locked up pretty early, or it was a race between him and Celebrini, right?
Yeah,
and by the end of the year, he wasn't even a finalist. And not to say he was bad, but he slowed down from what he was doing. And Schaefer hasn't slowed down hardly at all. Like maybe the goal scoring specifically, but not even really the point production. And the Islanders are doing.
If anything, you just look at his defensive game has improved. If the goal total has kind of dropped a bit, the defensive play has improved. So that's a fine trade off, especially with a defenseman. What are your who would be your locks for the defenseman then? Like for you, if you were like that, you're for sure should be on the team. No question.
At this point, Makar, Morrissey, Taves, I would have Schaefer in there, and I think Shea Theodore is the only other lock for me. before this season, I absolutely would not have had Shea Theodore. I probably would have had him on the team, but not as a lock. Man, he's been great defensively. Like every single time I'm looking up any type of defensive analytics, he's like right up there. Like he's in like the top 3 almost every time I go and check any expected goals against and share of goals while on the ice. Like he's always right up there. And like, frankly, like I never paid that close attention to his game. I thought he was a little bit more of an offensive defenseman, but it would definitely, the numbers are pointing to that is not the case. He looks to be a really good shutdown guy. And, maybe he's a guy that you pair with a Schaefer just in case he makes those rookie defensive mistakes. Or maybe you put him with a guy like Morrissey and then say, Morrissey, do your best Erik Karlsson impression and go off. Like, but I think,
so
him being really solid defensively makes a good case for him being out there.
Yeah. And so I guess a big thing here. So you've got Makar right hand, but then Taves, Morrissey, Theodore, Schaefer are all lefties. And then assuming Thomas Harley makes the team, you're sitting there at 6 defensemen, right? Well, yeah, 6 defensemen and 5 are left-handed.
Right.
So logically,
Shea Theodore, I do believe, plays on the right.
Yeah,
I think mostly because
he can do either or.
I think he can do either. Yeah.
But I'm saying logically, for those other 2 spots, you probably are going to go with right-handed defensemen.
Right.
I can't imagine Team Canada is going to say, we're taking 7 left-handed defensemen and Cale Makar is going to be our only right-handed defenseman. They're going to at least be logical with that. So you're most likely looking at then a combination of like a Doughty Parayko as your last 2 making the cut. And that's kind of tough for a guy like Jacob Chychrun, who has been fantastic for Washington, and he's been one of the better goal-scoring defensemen, but
he also does take an insane amount of shots, which I will say probably doesn't help his case, because he obviously, the main reason you'd bring him is his offensive threat, and the last thing you want is him out there with, what would the lineup be? Point and Reinhardt on the wings of McDavid, and Chychrun keeps firing it through traffic, and the goalie just smothers it. Like, he's a volume shooter, point. Which, I mean, definitely works with the Caps, but Team Canada's maybe a bit different, and
and so that's kind of where I'm at with the defenseman. I'm kind of looking at it, and I think Makar, Taves are going to be there because they're, obviously Morrissey, Harley, Theodore, Schaefer, and then I have Drew Doughty and Colton Parayko. I think kind of is probably what's going to end up rounding out the D-core.
For me, at worst, like projecting it, no. Frankly, that's the most I've heard of Evan Bouchard. Every time I hear about him it's Canada's not bringing him, right? Like, I've literally heard 0 people actually say they should bring him. So, like, in person or
Oilers
like
fans.
Online. I'm not even hearing Oilers fans say it, frankly. They're like, don't let him do it. He's going to ruin McDavid's chance to win a medal.
Yeah, I guess you're not as much on Twitter, though. Because Twitter, it's all Bouchard should be there. And it's like, I get it, like, back your player, absolutely, but no, he's not going.
I don't see a world where Drew Doughty's not on this team. Even if he's not playing, then he's one of the 7 or 8 defensemen. I just cannot see this. They have so much loyalty to him. He's been to so many Olympics, and that I just can't see them not bringing him. Even if maybe he's not one of the better ones they could bring, which he's still very good. They're definitely bringing him. So there's a lot of great players and not a ton of spots, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. But the big thing for me is that Theodore looks so strong defensively, and Schaefer's overall game just keeps getting better. He gets more experience, and by the time the next Olympics runs around, you're wanting to have a first line of Makar, Schaefer. So this is only going to help him get to that point.
Absolutely. I've been set on Schaefer being on the team, and there's still a possibility he gets there. So
I'm excited to see it.
do the goalies. Can take 3 goalies.
goaltenders.
For me, I think it's already kind of just done. Like there's 3 clear choices for Canada, and I think they should take all 3. But I'll let you list off who you kind of think or want. Or
I know some people disagree with it. It's a very contested idea. I still have Jordan Binnington going. I think you have him start the tournament. He's earned that. And if he's bad, you have 2 other goalies that are going to be great. So you can at least bring him. Like, this is going to be so much longer than the 4 nations as well. There's going to be a lot more games. Like, it matters more than the 4 nations who these 7-8 defensemen are, who the other goalie is, the extra forwards, because all of them are going to get to play at least a game. Like, they're all going to be in and out. I think you have to bring Binnington and see if you can get that performance out of him. I think it would be criminal not to bring Logan Thompson. He should have been there at the 4 nations, and he's only proven that he's been that guy since. Like, logically, he should be the starter if it wasn't for Binnington just being this X factor. So I definitely think they need to bring Logan Thompson. That 3rd spot, there's been a couple different names that have been popping up. A lot of people have been saying Wedgwood because of how good he's been this year. And I definitely understand that because he has been great, but he's also been playing in front of a historically good Avalanche team. I'm going to change it at the last second. I'm going to go with Darcy Kemper.
That's who I've got for my 3rd spot. Those are my 3, and I'm not changing them. I
thought the whole time I was going to say Blackwood.
I think Blackwood's a great option, but hasn't been the most healthy to start the season, and Kemper's been nothing but solid
He's won
LA,
a cup as a starting goalie.
I was gonna say a lot of people forget that he won a cup, right? Like, people were talking last year, it's like, well, you got to take Aiden Hill just because he's won a cup. It's like, so is Darcy Kemper, but people don't talk about that as much because he kind of went to Colorado, won a cup, and then dipped out, right? So those are my 3, and I think Blackwood's a fine goalie, but I don't think the injuries this season have helped him, and Kemper's been just nothing but solid. Thompson last couple of years have been nothing but solid. Binnington, I mean, he is the biggest reason Canada won the 4 nations last year. So I think you at least owe it to him that you bring him in. Just because you bring him doesn't mean you have to ride him for the whole tournament. Like, he could be your 3rd stringer if need be by the end. But I think you owe it to him to bring him because he's the biggest reason Canada
we all watched that
year.
overtime. We all watched the overtime, and that's all that matters. We don't, like, people keep pointing to his save percentage. He's like an 880, 870 or something, and it's like, okay, he wasn't doing great in the regular season last year either. And guess what? He balled the fuck out, and we won. Like, some guys have that clutch factor, and I wanted to bring it up just because, man, is Darcy Kemper one of the most underrated goalies of this generation? Like,
it's possible. Absolutely.
Like, people, have they really, even at his peak, did they talk about him like a top 5 goalie even?
No.
Probably top 10 at points, but not really even top 5. But, like, over his career, he's been in the league since 2012. 916 with Minnesota, 915, 905, 915, 902, goes to the Kings, 932, 925, 928. Those are both with the Arizona Coyotes, by the way. Not a great team. Like, a 925 in 55 games with the 18-19 Coyotes is ridiculous. 907, 921, that's the year he won the cup with the Avs. 909, 890, that's when he became allegedly a boat anchor because he was all the way down at an 890, the horror. And then last year, 922. This year, he's rocking a 914, which is well above league average. It's up there with some of the best goalies right now. So, I don't see any reason to leave this guy at home. He's won a cup, great consistently for over a decade. Yeah. Don't overthink it.
Yeah, I think those are the three. And if other people have other goalies they believe, that's fine. But I think these three are kind of the most obvious choices to me, and I think the three that they should go with. Again, don't know if they will, but
yeah,
I think all three of these guys deserve to be there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the forward. So we know Crosby, McKinnon, McDavid, Point, and Reinhart are already locks to be on the team. So that would leave 9 spots up for grabs. Assuming they do the 14 forwards, 8 defensemen. So 9 spots open for the forwards.
Yeah. 9 spots. Beyond the ones that are literally already chosen. So out of these 9 remaining spots, how many of them would you say, not what you literally think is going to happen in real life, but if you were picking the team, who is already a lock on your team for those remaining 9 spots?
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think these 6 should be a lock. That being Mitch Marner, Celebrini, Bedard, Nick Suzuki, Brandon Hagel, and Brad Marchand. I think
those are the exact 6 I figured you were going to pick. I was looking at the projected, and I was like, those just make the most sense. Yeah, Marchand was one of those guys where I was like, people keep saying his name, but like, he's getting up there in age. Like, he's not what he used to be. He doesn't have Bergeron anymore. Like, he can't shit disturb as much at the Olympics. But fuck, man, this year, like, how do you not bring that? Are you kidding me?
Exactly.
Like, the scoring has been there, the two-way play. Like, even if he was not a shit disturber at all, he would still be there.
Yeah, and he's you could make the argument, maybe not over Crosby, but one of the best possible locker room guys that you could bring for Team Canada.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I definitely think Marchand should be, and I think majority of people do, especially with his play this season. And
I think the playoffs did a lot of work for him.
It was kind of weird that it took him going to the Panthers, kind of the team everybody seems to hate the most, but it actually took going there for a lot of people to actually start liking Marchand. It's kind of weird how that.
I don't think that has anything to do with that, though.
Works.
I think
I'm just saying. I'm literally just saying it's weird that. Yeah, people hated him throughout all his time Boston, but as soon as he goes to Florida, now people are a big fan of him. And I think it's kind of just because he has gone away a bit from some of his former antics, and they're starting to see a little bit more personality out of him that they maybe didn't quite see as much before.
I think it's mostly just the Four Nations, the Tim Hortons commercials. Like, before the Four Nations, when was the last time he got to represent Canada? Like,
the World Cup 2016.
Yeah, like, fuck, that's so long. Jesus Christ. Like, yeah, for me, yeah, I'm definitely have always been under no circumstances am I going to cheer for fucking Brad Marchand. Well, he puts on the jersey at Four Nations. Yeah, no, I'm cheering for Brad Marchand in that situation. Come on. What are we talking about? Yeah, he's also just, I feel like, increased his presence online a lot in the last year or two,
Yeah.
More commercials. I feel like he's had a lot more kind of clips and sound bites going around and stuff. Going to the
taking the initiative of the Blizzards with the Panthers, that became a huge thing as well.
Yeah.
So he's a lock for me. So then that leaves you pretty much, if those 6 we mentioned there are locks, you've got 3 open spots left, and that's where the hard part comes into play now.
I do love that you included both of Bedard and Celebrini in those locks, because I think they were strong consideration before. We are now partway into December, and they are still doing that. They should be locks. They are some of the best. If you forget Team Canada, if you're making Team Earth, if the Monstars are coming and they say your best 20 players or whatever it is on a team versus ours as aliens, winner takes all, we blow up the planet if we win, these guys are both still making it. They're 2 of the best hockey players in the world. So yeah, it's at this point, like, anytime I hear somebody be like, I'm bringing Celebrini, but I still don't buy Bedard, I'm like, okay, well then you haven't been watching.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So,
frankly, now it's where are they going to play in the lineup? At this point, now I think they're both looking pretty high up there.
Yeah. But that's what makes the tough part now is you're now down to trying to figure out, because again, we're just assuming, that those 6 are locks to go with the 5 that are already.
Yeah.
You're at 11 and picking 3 more forwards out of all these other guys.
3 more, 2 of them being extras as well. Like,
yeah.
Oh, I hate to do it to him. He just always falls in this spot when I'm doing these mock-ups. I just can't find a spot for Mark Scheifele in these rosters. I mean, I guess if you have him as the extra forward, and then every second game you slot him in on like a second line wing spot or something. There's already so much scoring on this team, and he'd be one of the worst defensive players on the team. And I don't know if you can find the room for him as much as I want to bring him. It sucks. Like, it's such disrespect, but a guy like a Bo Horvat, he's been scoring at an insane rate this year, but he's also great defensively.
And
so
good.
It's a lot easier to, like it's super easy to put him as the 4th line center or something. But Scheifele, like, I feel like he doesn't work as a 4th line center. Like, he'd have to be a top 6 guy and on the power play or something to get full value out of him.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I don't know if if it would work with him. I guess let's get a couple guys in a similar situation out of the way. Zach Hyman.
I wouldn't take him.
Okay, I'm glad we don't have to have a huge conversation about that. Sam Bennett and or Tom Wilson.
So, and it's crazy because he scored the tying goal in the final game last year. He just won the Conn Smythe. I don't think I wouldn't take Sam Bennett, but I would take Tom Wilson.
I agree. I think the way it works in the Olympics, it translates a bit better to Wilson. He's a bit more of a big hitter and less of a bit of a rat, I guess.
And he's also just a better offensive player. Too.
Yeah. And yeah, at the end of the day, like I think I saw the other day he's on pace for like 47 goals and like 80 some points. Like, I don't know if he'll finish there, but he's scoring a lot of goals.
Like, Alex Ovechkin is still balling out and being Ovi, and we're always talking about Ovi and whatnot, but when you look at the Washington Capitals, that's Tom Wilson's team now. Like, Tom Wilson,
he's going to be the captain as soon as Ovi's done.
Everything, he is the best player on the Capitals.
Yeah.
And that's no shade at Ovi. Like, Ovi's still a great goal scorer, but Tom Wilson does everything at such a high level, and he is a big energy guy, and yeah, you have to take him. And I totally agree. As soon as Ovi's done,
is this Dylan Strome erasure?
Getting to see and...
Is this Dylan Strome erasure to say that he's the best, though?
So no shade against Dylan Strome. Dylan Strome's a great player.
No,
but...
I think you're probably right. I think with everything Wilson brings, especially a little extra goal scoring, I think you're probably right. And
so yeah, I would take Tom Wilson. For me personally, I would pencil him in.
He's still physical while he's toned down how, I guess, like a lot of the controversial hits type of thing. And he's just improved his overall game, especially offensively. Like he's a guy that makes a lot of sense, especially as a 4th or 3rd line guy.
Yeah.
And that leaves us with what? 1 spot left?
Nope, 2.
2?
If Tom Wilson's penciled in there, then 2 more spots still.
And did we put in Horvat?
We didn't. No.
I think you probably bring Bo Horvat.
I guess I'll lay it out here. Because that is So say Tom Wilson is there. So because I still think there's a chance for Mark Scheifele, so I put him on here. I think you're kind of down to you're picking 2 of Mark Scheifele Seth Jarvis, Wyatt Johnston, Bo Horvat, John Tavares, Morgan Geekie. I think Geekie's a very outside shot, but I think there's still a chance that he goes. So I threw him in there because, I mean,
Yeah.
been the best goal scorer in the entire league for the year of 2025.
Yeah. I think he's
probably
kind of
don't
in
think
that
he makes
tier.
it, but
I think he's in a
there.
similar tier to Anthony Cirelli in that, like, fuck, we'd love to bring you, but like gestures at this killer's row of insane players. Like, people, I hate how much everyone who talks about this feels like they have to preface, like, I don't hate this player for not bringing him. We don't have to say that, man. Like, it's Team Canada. Only the best get to do this. Like, only the best. So, if you're getting left off of here, it's not, disrespect. It's because it's a fucking stacked roster.
Yeah, and also just saying, he probably does make the team, but I don't have Mark Stone on there.
I wouldn't either.
I think the game has kind of just gone a little bit too fast for him, and I get it. It kind of does help his case because the NHL, like, it's a smaller ice surface now. It's not, the jumbo size.
They have
but
more
again, I think also
guys now as well.
Concern as well, and
he's good defensively, and they've kind of got that a little more covered than they have than they had at Four Nations. So I think his role has been cannibalized a little bit like that as well. So yeah, I don't have him on there either. I wouldn't be shocked if they actually bring him. Similar to Cirelli, I wouldn't be shocked if the actual team ended up bringing him. But for us hypothetically putting together the best team we think of, I don't have him on there.
Yeah, and it's, I don't know, it's a coin flip between these last two spots. I'm looking at it, and you've got Scheifele, Jarvis. I think Wyatt Johnston probably, unfortunately, doesn't make it. I think he's one of the last few cut, and I think it's tough, but he'll probably make future teams. But I just going off base what I think will happen, he'll probably be cut near the end. So Scheifele, Jarvis, Horvat, Tavares.
Honestly, I wouldn't hate
2 of those.
I wouldn't. Very few people are talking about Tavares making this team, but man, he's been good this year, and he was really good last year. Like, he honestly looks better in the last 2 years than he had the 3 before that. Like, this is some of the best hockey he's played since coming to Toronto, and he doesn't literally have the C anymore, but we know he can be a good figure in that locker room. I don't think he makes it, but you know what? I wouldn't hate it if they brought him as one of the extra guys.
That's kind of where I'm at. I think Seth Jarvis makes it.
I think he probably does too.
I think just having someone as a natural winger who plays every shift, like
real life, he doesn't.
It's his last, and
I would
good offensively, solid defensively.
Yeah.
Basically, it's kind of the thing of like, Brandon Hagel and Seth Jarvis are kind of like identical players.
I was kind of thinking that. Yeah.
You roll the two of them together, like that's a nightmare for defensemen, just getting hounded by the two of them.
Yeah. Yeah. You got those two coming after you, and who's the center between them? Is it Nick Suzuki? Is it Bo Horvat? Like, fuck, those don't sound fun to play against.
Yeah.
So
Seth Jarvis,
I feel like Seth Jarvis probably doesn't make the actual team, but for picking our best team, I think I would take him.
Yeah,
and I think we round out that last spot with probably Bo Horvat.
His play this year has been good, and
I really didn't think he would be even in this conversation this year. I didn't even think he would be in really consideration. But like I, pulling the curtain back a little bit, we have our fantasy league with a couple friends and some family, and our older brother is in on it this year, and he has Bo Horvat, and our dad's an Islanders fan, and I've been telling him for like a month and a half, like, you got to trade him before he falls off. Like, he can't keep doing this. And he just keeps doing it, man. Like, he's
doing it.
I'm pretty sure he's still in the top 5 for goal scoring in the league, like, while being great defensively on a not offensively inclined roster, really. Like,
yeah. So Seth Jarvis, and then
make it a believer.
If you're kind of left picking between one spot, Mark Scheifele, Bo Horvat, John Tavares. In my opinion, I don't think there's a wrong pick. I see the value in all three of them going.
I completely agree.
For different reasons.
Yeah.
So
I think it would be I would take Horvat out of those three just as a bit of a tiebreaker. He's better defensively, and whichever of those three you pick is probably playing most of their time in the bottom six.
Yeah. Basically, you're like
not a shutdown.
You're picking
fully roll. He can still score, but he can be good defensively. Maybe he's on the PK.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing, right? Is like we're debating between these three guys, but it's like they're probably like the 14th forward, and when they do come in, it's his fourth line center. So what can you do? But that's kind of a little bit of talk about Team Canada heading into the Olympics. We'll probably have some YouTube exclusive stuff over the next little bit here. Probably won't be as in depth or as long because we want to keep it a little more concise and on track. But keep poking your head around the YouTube, and eventually there'll be some more Olympic stuff there that won't be here on the podcast. So make sure to check that out.
Absolutely demolish the Bell.
Yeah, crush it.
Kill the Bell.
We do have two last segments here before we wrap it up. This one you don't know anything about it. Yeah. You don't know anything about this one.
Nope.
So I'm going to throw this your way, and I'm just going to see your thoughts on it and what you think, and if you think it's a possibility. It is not the Tuesday episode. This is the Friday episode, but we have a mock trade.
This is a mock. Okay.
This is not a mock trade made by me. This is from some guys over at The Score. They threw this one together, and I thought it would be interesting to take it and list it off to you here and see your thoughts on it.
Okay.
There's two things with this. All right, and this is what's going to grab everyone's attention. This is why I'm going to really probably make this this chapter here clickbait. It is a 3-team deal.
Yes.
Involving Quinn Hughes.
Yes. I thought
you
love 3-team trades.
So
it just encourages creativity.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can see pushback from people on it, but I think this deal also does kind of make sense for a lot of reasons.
Okay.
So, going to Vancouver, Dawson Mercer, Simone Nemec, a 2026 first and second belonging to New Jersey, and a 2027 first and second belonging to New Jersey. So to Vancouver, Mercer, Nemec, 2 firsts and 2 seconds. Going to Vancouver. Okay.
So obviously they're giving up at least Quinn Hughes. That's a nice return though. Like, we've seen some bad returns for good players. So like at least it would be nice to get something decent like that.
Going to New Jersey, obviously, Quinn Hughes, Kiefer Sherwood, and Alex Wenberg at 50% retained. Which means the third team involved is the San Jose Sharks, who acquired Dougie Hamilton and Seamus Casey.
What's San Jose giving up?
Wenberg at 50% retained. So that's basically they're giving up Wenberg 50% retained, who is kind of a replacement right now for Dawson Mercer. Even though I think Mercer's kind of been more on the wing, but can't play center. So Wenberg kind of fills that second line center spot. And then once Jack Hughes comes back, he's a phenomenal third line center as a defensive. And San Jose, from what I gathered, they're taking on Dougie Hamilton's contract because New Jersey's got to kind of move on from him if you're bringing in Quinn Hughes.
Right.
And Seamus Casey's kind of just to San Jose because there's no room for him in New Jersey. So
it's a perfect fit for what San Jose wants.
Yeah, and they're both right-handed defensemen, which is exactly what San Jose needs. So Vancouver gets Mercer, Nemec, 2 firsts, 2 seconds. New Jersey gets Quinn Hughes, Kiefer Sherwood, Alex Wenberg, 50% retained, and then San Jose, Dougie Hamilton, and Seamus Casey. And that would be the 3-team deal.
Yeah. I love this for San Jose. I like it a good bit for the Canucks. Losing both of those guys is obviously rough, but they're already trying to move them. But that's a hell of a return. I mean, the Devils obviously are getting Quinn Hughes, Kiefer Sherwood, and Wenberg. It's great. It's just, I feel like the only thing holding this up would be the Devils' Sharks side. I feel like what the Devils are giving up to the Canucks and vice versa works.
Mm-hmm. You do got to remember though that like they got to dump Dougie Hamilton's contract.
See, that's the thing. That's positive value. You get something for that, for giving him up, in my opinion. Like, I know that they need to make the salaries work, but Dougie Hamilton's, that's not an he's not an anchor. Like, he's taking up cap space that you'd be moving out for Quinn Hughes, but like, that's not something that should inherently have negative value.
So he's got 2 years left on his contract after this year at $9 million. Let me just pull it up here. What is his stats so far this year? So this year in 26 games, 8 points.
That is not what you want to see. -4.
So it's not great, and basically then New Jersey kind of comes out of it, and I think actually they gain cap space overall.
I don't know how much Wenberg would be retained, but I mean, it can't be that much.
And because with Dougie Hamilton's contract, it would still be on the books when you need to extend Quinn Hughes.
Yeah, that is also true. Yeah,
I think it's, I think like I personally, like as a San Jose fan, I'd love this, but it's like Seamus Casey almost doesn't need to be in there. But I guess they're kind of putting him in there as like San Jose is doing New Jersey a favor by taking on Dougie Hamilton's contract in full. That's kind of my way that they've got it.
That's kind of my thought, is that it's just a little more value going to San Jose. They love what they're getting for both parts of it, in Casey and Hamilton, frankly. It's just a bit much on that side of it. Like, I'm trying to figure a way that San Jose could do a bit more for this trade. Like, I mean, they only have the one retention slot, do they? Right?
Yeah.
I was going to say if Hughes, like, on paper went to San Jose and then and they retained on Hughes as well, if they had that retention spot, then it would be like, now you're saving them a boatload of money. Like, now that feels pretty close.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm so glad you brought this up, though. Like, I do love this as the like 85% of the skeleton for a trade. I think it would be a little bit of penny pinching, moving some numbers around. Maybe a couple different things would happen, but something like this would be awesome.
Yeah, and that's kind of where the majority of people are at. They were like, you know what? This is a deal that I could see going through. Everyone's happy, but I could also see, maybe like a tweak here or there too. So people are like, it's basically right there. Like, it's a deal that would go through and no one would be like, oh, this is an unfair trade or this team got fleeced. It kind of, but I don't think it's quite perfect, but it's like, it's almost there type of thing.
Exactly. Like, I'm arguing over the value a bit, but at the same time, I mean, how much are you losing if you're getting Kiefer Sherwood, Quinn Hughes? You've got the 3 Hugheses. They're the only team that can trade for Quinn Hughes and not worry about, is he going to resign or is he leaving? They don't have to worry about that. Like, what universe does he go reunite with his brothers, play 2 seasons, and then leave in free agency?
Yeah.
Like, if that were to happen, it would be because the GM is being a dickhead, and the owner would probably fire the GM and hire a new guy first before that happens. Like,
yeah, so just thought I'd throw that one out there. I thought it was a little bit fun.
And you know what? They did sign Dougie Hamilton in free agency, didn't they?
Yeah.
So, like, obviously it was a while ago, but like, it's not like they're losing out on it by kind of his, not getting stuff back for him. Like, if it is a cap dump, like, it's, you got several serviceable years out of him, and then he was part of a Quinn Hughes trade. So
exactly. Right.
I could definitely see a world where that something like that happens. It's a lot more fun than the trades we normally get.
Yeah, right. I thought it was a fun one, so I thought, hey, you know what, I'll bring it here and we'll see here. But we can move into our last segment here. For those who have been here before, we love to wrap it up with a good old game. And I got one here that's going to make Braden stress because I like to just see him sweat on the other side of the screen here. We have Guess Who.
It's Guess the Player. Yeah.
Guess the player. Pretty simple. Again, for those who don't know, Braden, you can ask me yes or no questions, trying to narrow it down to the player in as few questions as possible to try and beat your record. Your record is, what was it here? 7.
7?
7.
Right.
So 5 questions basically, and then you got to snipe it on the 6 if you want to. Almost did it the last couple of times, so
Yeah,
it's
I've had
definitely doable.
some very
It's not
close
easy,
guesses.
but it's definitely doable. So I've got the player here, and you are good to go whenever you are ready with your first question.
I am ready. However, we often do this for this one. I will ask, on a scale of 1 to 10, how obvious do you think this player is?
7.
7.
7.
Okay.
7.
Okay, so probably either obviously a higher end player, like it's not lower down in the lineup unless he's very prolific. Maybe a starting goalie. A lot of starting goalies I could see at a 7. I believe we've only had 1 or 2 goalies be the answer.
Yeah, twice
before.
we've done it now.
You know what? 7 seems goalie pilled. I'm gonna bring the first question on it. Is this player a goaltender?
They are not a goalie.
Oh shit. Fuck. All right.
It's a tough starting point, but now you don't have to worry about it at least.
Can I risk not narrowing? I got to. Is this player a forward?
No.
Okay, a defenseman. That does make it a little easier.
It is a defenseman.
This is not a super smart guess in terms of the overall likelihood of numbers, but if it hits, it will narrow it down a huge amount for me. Does this player play for a Canadian team?
No.
Damn. That was that.
No, they do not.
More than likely, that was going to be the answer, but man, if it hit,
it would have been huge for you. Absolutely.
So is that 3 questions down already?
Yeah.
They're a defender on an American team.
And that's all you got.
Oh, does this player make more than... Does this player make $8 million or more per season?
No. They do not.
Less than
than 8.
All right.
And 4 questions down.
U.S. team defenseman making less than 8 mil. That doesn't narrow it down near as much as I'd like. Is this player in the Atlantic Division?
They are in the Atlantic Division. There you go.
Okay.
But so now here's the kicker. If you want to set the record, you gotta guess here.
I gotta guess the player who is a defender making less than 8 mil on an American Atlantic team. The Atlantic thing, actually, I didn't even think about that when I guessed it. That actually really helps because that means it's not the Sens, it's not the Canadiens, it's not the Leafs. I have narrowed it down to 5 teams.
It did narrow it down to 5 teams. A defenseman making less than 8 mil across one of those 5 teams.
Oh.
Good luck. Good luck, sir.
Yeah, that's a 7. I'm trying to leverage that a little bit to think of guys that fit that category. Obviously, this means that the player is on the Red Wings, the Lightning, the Bruins, the Panthers, or the Sabres.
Correct.
Oh, there's
one guess for all the marbles to set the new record.
How much is Cider making? Is he over 8? He is over 8. Okay. I'm gonna write off the Wings. It's not the Wings.
Okay.
Cider makes too much. The rest of those guys are a 5 out of 10 on their best day. There's no shot.
Okay, a little disrespect for those players, but okay.
Yeah,
I feel like Ben Sherratt's actually been having a pretty good year.
Yeah, Ben Sherratt can take it up with my standings. All right.
Yeah, fair enough.
Fair
enough.
The Panthers. Oh, I could see it being a Seth Jones. That's a 7 out of 10 player. Aaron Ekblad, Gustav Forsling. They're all making under 8. I don't think it's anyone else on that roster, but Forsling, Ekblad, or Jones really all could be right in there. I could see it. On the Lightning, I'm thinking the only guy that really works for that is Ryan McDonough. Maybe.
Mac Truck. That's his nickname, Mac Truck?
Yeah.
Okay, that is.
It always confuses me because his last name is spelled like MCD.
Yeah.
But when everyone calls him Mac Truck, it's obviously MAC.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, we can look at this all day, but it's kind of a crapshoot.
I'm gonna have to push you for an answer here.
Yeah. I think otherwise I'm just gonna talk in circles. I'm gonna go with my first gut instinct. I am going to say the mystery player is Seth Jones. Seth Jones.
You going Seth Jones? Final answer, locking it in?
I'm locking in Seth Jones.
He's locked in Seth Jones. It is a defenseman on an Atlantic team, but it's not Florida.
Is it McDonough?
Play in the Florida Panthers. It is not Ryan McDonough, but it is one of his teammates.
It's one of his teammates. Is it
one of his
Darren Radish?
It is not Darren Radish. You've been hyping this guy up all year.
JJ?
JJ
Moser.
Moser. Yeah.
I didn't think you'd have him at a 7 out of 10. I guess you're doing this in the context of me. It's a 7 out of 10 that I would get.
Well, he's also what? Has he been playing on the top pair?
Yeah, pretty much the whole year.
So like top pair, but it's like it's not a headman. And also, I guess I don't fully take position into account because I'm kind of like, if you just knew it was a player on Tampa, he's probably like maybe the 7th player you would guess. Actually, maybe. Yeah, it's tough to say.
It's hard to say.
But it was JJ Moser. But you know what? I'm impressed actually, given that your first 2 questions literally just narrowed it down to defensemen. You still got it down to 5 teams and all that. So I do got to give you props for that. It's a tough one when you're trying to beat your ghost.
Well, that's the thing. Anyone could around and guess him eventually. If I keep narrowing down the cap hit and the age and stuff, eventually I'll get it. But you got to try. You got to try and set a new high score.
Got to try and break those records. Absolutely. But it is that time of the week where we are done here and we are off for the weekend. One final time, we just do want to thank all of you for tuning in to another episode of the Stick 'em Up podcast every Tuesday and Friday across all platforms, on YouTube, where a lot of people have been sliding over there lately.
Yeah.
That's about it. Braden, you know the drill here. As always, final thoughts.
Let us know what your thoughts are on the Olympic teams. What do you think? Is there a guy we missed? Maybe there's like a free space guy that's great that we didn't talk about because there's just so many different options for Team Canada. Like, let us know if you think there's other guys that need to be in that conversation, because it's really easy for guys to slip through the crack. Guy like Matt Barzal, he's been having a pretty good season. He's looked really good out there. No, I haven't even heard his name once thrown into the conversation. Like,
it's tough when you got so many good players. Absolutely.
It's tough to get in there. So let us know what you guys think about all that with Team Canada or any of the teams. If there's other countries with players on the fringe trying to get in, who do you think's had a good enough season to deserve it?
Absolutely, yeah. And if there's any teams you want us to cover, let us know, because we'll be kind of doing a little preview for some teams over on the YouTube, so keep an eye out for that. Yes. But that is it for this one final time. Hope all enjoyed. And as always, we will see all of you lovely people out on the ice next week.